Welcome to Sarah Lottie's. For today's workout, you'll just need yourself and your mat. This is a no equipment workout, just body weight. Let's get started. Going to start by lying down today on our mat. So finding those knees bent ever so slightly up to the sky. Heels come in just an inch closer to the glutes. Head can rest on the ground. Going to start with an inhale, drawing those fingertips up overhead. Wrists stacked directly in line with your shoulders here. We'll start by waking those arms up. Nice big inhale. And then finding an exhale as those palms rotate and draw themselves around. Inhale, fingertips come up. Keeping that inhale up overhead, exhale, palms flip, face the ground, and then come back to your side. One more just like that. Really nice to wake up the arms. That shoulder girdle is going to be working nice and hard for us. It's also just a really nice way to see if there's any inconsistencies in your body. If one shoulder is tighter than the other, for instance. Let's keep those fingertips here up overhead this time. We're going to scoop out through that lower core, lifting just in that area between your navel and your tailbone. So aiming your tailbone up nice and high to the sky, feeling that abdominal contraction as you lift up, keeping those hips up nice and high. Let's just find some alternating heel raises here, lifting one heel and placing it right back down, one heel up and right back down. Being mindful to keep your pelvis, those hips nice and steady the entire time, such that only your heels are moving, not those hips, okay? If you've lost contraction of your core, think about constantly pressing up nice and high to the sky. Let's add on from here, finding those feet just pressing down here. Now, let's wake up the brain here as well. As the alternating heel lifts, you're going to find that opposite hand coming down and finding a little bit of length behind you, just starting to wake up those shoulders. Hips stay nice and steady. We're keeping an eye on our alignment here. Alternate heel and alternate arm. Let's find that left heel raised up nice and high in 3, in 2, and 1. That left heel is raised up nice and high to the sky. And let's just draw those fingertips down. And inhale, draw them back up. Exhale, draw down. Inhale, back up. Let's draw those fingertips to meet in 3, in 2, and 1. Fingertips meet, little hip presses here, little up an inch, little down. That left heel is raised, starting to wake up that back line of the left side of your body. Should be feeling your left hamstring start to turn on, feeling where your glute and your hamstring meet. Let's hold it here for 3. Hold it here for 2 and 1. Left heel comes down, exhale, right heel comes up. And let's just bring that left fingertip up. And left fingertips come down, keeping your hips raised. Just finding that little rotation here again in the shoulder, really starting to wake up that shoulder girdle. Give it some nice range of motion here. Let's hold those left fingertips up in line with the right in 3, in 2, and 1. Fingertips are up nice and high, making sure those hips haven't dropped. Right heel's up. Just going to find some pulses, little up an inch here, little down, a little up, and a little down. You've got 4. You've got 3. Keep squeezing. You've got 2 and 1. Let's lift that left heel up to join. And then little pulses here. Little up an inch, little down, waking up that back line of the body. You've got 4. We're holding it up high in 3, in 2, and 1. Beautiful. Hold it up nice and high. And then just open those outer thighs out to the side a couple inches. Woo, and then squeeze them back in. Inhale, draw them out, and exhale, squeeze together. Starting to get a little bit of hip rotation here. Pelvis stays nice and steady, and we're just finding some rotation here, as well as starting to wake up the sidelines of your body. So the outer side of your leg, and waking up that glute min, waking up your glute med. Woo, and working those hamstrings all along. All right, let's hold those outer thighs pressing out to the side in 3, in 2, and 1. Outer sides are pressed to the side, and little butterfly pulses just pressing out an inch and in, keeping those hips nice and steady and lifted high. You're here for 3. Squeeze that area between your navel and your tailbone. You're here for 2 and 1. Knees come together. Inhale, heels come down, and slowly scoop that core down nice and slow for 3, for 2, And for 1, left toes come up in tabletop, right toes come up into tabletop. And let's find a little inhale to lift head, neck, and shoulders through that window of your arms, and find an exhale, drawing those hands down by your side. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're going to pump those arms, just finding some little hundreds here. So you're inhaling. Think about inhaling for 5 breaths, and then exhaling for 5 counts as well. Little inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, keeping that little metronome in your own head, find that vigorous pumping here. You've got those shoulders away from your ears and a full contraction there on the core. All right, let's extend those legs out. You're keeping those pumps going, and maybe you drop those toes down. There it is, holding nice and steady. We're going to add on from here. Let's draw 1 set of toes up as we keep the pump, 1 set of toes down, 1 set of toes up, and 1 set of toes down, 1 up, and 1 down, yeah, and 1 up, and 1 down. Hold both toes up. Beautiful. From here, let's find some toe touches. Little up an inch and down, waking up that core. Little up an inch and down. Whew. Just starting to feel that beautiful flexion here of the spine, and those abdominals supporting you the entire time. You've got your rectus abdominals, those you can think of as your 6-pack muscles. That's just what they look like underneath it all. That pack of muscles that runs north and south in your body, waking up that entire corridor here. Now, to get a little bit extra, making sure those shoulders are not coming down, we're going to hold up nice and high in 3, hold up high in 2, and 1. Hold up nice and high, elbows out wide, hands behind the head. Woo! And we're going to slowly lower down. Exhale, drawing back up. Slowly lower down on that inhale, and exhale, drawing back up. Good. Slowly lower it down. Now, being mindful you're pressing your spine into the mat. You might have about a blueberry's worth of space, but thinking about having a big beach ball resting on you to really engage that transverse abdominals, that deep layer of core. Shoulders are up here. Woo! And you can tuck that chin slightly like you're holding on to an orange. We are going to hold those legs halfway down in 3. Hold them down about 45 degrees in 2. And 1. Hold them down. We're going to find an external rotation of the hip. Heels squeeze together. You can think of this as first position in dance. And then we're going to draw those heels in towards your pelvis. And then, woo, extend them right back out. Inhale, knees out nice and wide. Exhale, push, squeeze, draw them out. Inhale, draw in. And exhale, squeeze, draw them out. Woo, inhale, draw them in, keeping those hips nice and steady as you can. So you're not pushing those hips forward and back. That pelvis stays nice and anchored onto your mat. Let's hold those knees out nice and wide in 3. We're going to reduce the range of motion here in 2 and 1. Scoop up, pressing like you've got that big beach ball. Just little pulses here with the feet. You've got 5. You've got 4. Tiny pulses here for 3. For 2. And 1, let's push it out all the way. Those toes come together, little flutters, little up, little down. Can you crunch up a little higher? Maybe those fingertips come in line with your ears. You've got 5. You've got 4. Point those toes, sharp point. You've got 3. You've got 2. And 1, knees to tabletop. Woo! Roll out the feet. Feet can come down, nice big stretch overhead. Nice job, friends. All right, we're going to do a little bit more core. Woohoo, my favorite. Got a bug on me. We're going to bring those legs into a tabletop position. And then that left hand is going to press into that right knee. So knees pushing back, hands pushing back on the knee, equal force here. And then we've got your right leg in a tabletop position. And that right hand can just rest behind your head, really supporting your head and neck. Again, you've got that orange here. We're going to inhale, extend those toes out. Woo! And then draw them back in. Nice big inhale, finding that crunch. So you've got that isometric hold here on the right, and really push your knee with the same pressure that you're pressing with your hand. So you've got an activation here on that left oblique, and then we're finding that beautiful lengthening on that right side. All right, we're going to add on here. So we're going to extend those fingertips and toes, and then draw up, dropping down. And then reaching fingertips to toes, dropping up. Being mindful that this leg is not drooping down. We're staying nice and active the entire time. So we're extending here on the right side, keeping your shoulders up the entire time. You're just finding that beautiful length here on that right side. Let's hold those fingertips and toes up in 5, in 4, in 3, fingertips and toes up in 2, and 1, fingertips and toes. Little reaches here, micro crunches. You're here for 5, for 4, keep that pressure. You're here for 3, up to the sky. You've got 2, and 1. Inhale, extend everything out. Think about those toes and those fingertips, little flutters, little up an inch, little down, little up, little down. You've got 5. You've got 4. For 3, we're switching sides in 2. And 1, knees come in. Ooh, give yourself a little rolling here. Feel free to roll out that neck just a little bit if you have been overactive in those scalene muscles. We're going to find the same thing on the other side. You've got your knee pressing into your right hand. That left hand is going to come just behind your head, elbow out nice and wide. Equal pressure, knee to palm. And you're extending those toes out on the left side and then drawing them back in. Now, it's a really hard pressure here from the palm of your hand onto your knee. You're pressing equally and each really anchoring your pelvis down. That muscular contraction on the right side is so strong that it's stabilizing your pelvis into the mat. That's what we're going for here. All right, let's add on here, okay? We're going to draw those left fingertips up nice and high and reach and extend. Finding that reach, finding that extend. It's a reach and an extend. Make sure that right side that we're not drooping down, that leg stays in tabletop, and that contraction continues to anchor our pelvis into the mat. Left shoulders are not quite touching the mat. They're staying raised. Let's find those pulses, fingertips to toes in 3, in 2, and 1. Little up an inch, little down. Finding those little reaches. Little up and a little down. You're here for 5. For 4, we'll find that extension in 3, in 2, and 1. Make sure that palm of your hand and that knee are connected, and then little flutter. So you're little up an inch, little down. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Big stretch, draw in, knee to your nose. And let's find a couple little rolls here. Oh my goodness. So good. Alrighty, my friends, we're going to roll ourselves up into a nice tabletop position here. And you're going to find your fingertips just ahead of your shoulders. Knees are going to be just directly underneath your hips. You're going to find an extension here on that left side and lift those left toes up in line with your hip. Now we're going to find a little spinal extension here. So as you drop both of those elbows down, those toes can come up, just getting a really nice extension of the spine. Press up and then knee to nose, finding that flexion. Extend out, elbows down, press those toes up to the sky, and then draw that knee in towards your nose. A little bit more core here, so good. Pressing up, getting that tricep push-up, round, 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 really feeling that core that we lit up on that first round of abs. And pressing up, knee into your nose. Let's hold those elbows down into the mat, round that spine in 3. Those elbows are going to reach down in 2. And for 1, extend those toes, elbows come down. Now from here, let's just find micro little pulses here. Got a nice sharp point to those left toes, shoulders away from your ears, and we're drawing those elbows just to the mat. They're just hovering a couple inches. You're going up an inch, and you're going down an inch. Let's hold it in 3, in 2, and 1. Just a hold here, and little kicks. Little up an inch, little down with those toes, little up, little down. You're here for 5, for 4. You've got 3, for 2, and 1. Knee comes in, nice big stretch. I'm going to draw things over to that right side. We'll still stay supported on the mat with our right side. Right forearm's going to come down, and we'll find an extension of those left toes. Now, we can reach those left fingertips up nice and high, drawing those shoulders away from your ears. And then we find those toes up nice and high. Let's just find a little stretch here, dropping those toes down to the mat. Exhale, drawing up. Toes come down to the mat. Exhale, drawing up. Let's do a couple more just like that. Getting that beautiful range of motion here in our hip and finding that nice support in our obliques. Let's hold those toes up in 3, in 2, and 1. Holding those toes up. Find a flex to the foot. We're kicking forward, point, draw back. Kick, flex forward, point, draw back. Trying to keep that pelvis as steady as you can, meaning we're not moving those hips side to side. Those hips are staring straight ahead. Finding that kick and that point. Finding that kick and finding that point. All right. Now, we are going to find that kick forward in 3, in 2, and 1. Let's find that kick forward here. And we're going to find some pulses. Little up an inch, little down, little up, little down for 5, for 4, lifting out of that right side. You've got 3, for 2, and 1. Hold it, drawing that knee in, kick out, draw back, point forward. We're drawing that knee to your chest, kick, and then draw back. Point forward, knee to chest, kick out, and then drawing that foot back. Good. Kick forward, draw in, press, point back. Let's hold that knee into the chest in 3, in 2, and 1. Knee is into the chest, little up an inch, little down, little pulses here. You've got 5. You've got 4. You've got 3. We're extending it out in 2 and 1. Extend it out. Press back, finding a beautiful stretch. Now, if your right side is feeling that supportive side, that's okay. We get a lot of body weight supporting us. So these single leg exercises are really nice because one part of the body, one half is always in an isometric hold while the other is lengthening and strengthening. Let's do the same thing here on the other side. We've got 2 sides. This time we're going to find those right toes extended and draw them just in line with that hip. Now we're going to find that spinal extension, dropping those elbows down, kicking those toes up, coming up to that push-up, rounding the spine, finding that flexion knee to nose, extend out, elbows down to the mat, pressing up, finding that neutral spine, then right away finding that beautiful flexion knee to nose, extend out, elbows down, toes up. This feels so nice, especially after traveling. If you've been sitting on an airplane, as I have, in that compact position, anything that wakes up my hips, wakes up my spine, feels so, so good. Let's hold those elbows out in 3. Those elbows hovering in 2. And for 1, kick that leg out, finding those elbows, and we'll find those little pulses. Just little up an inch with those elbows, drawing shoulders away from the ears. You've got 3. We're going to hold it in 2. And 1, just little kicks, little up an inch, little down, little up, little down for 3. For 2, and 1, push up and push it back. All right, we've got that second side. So we're going to find this time that left forearm is coming down. Left knee will stay on the mat, and we'll find full extension here on those right toes. Right fingertips can come up overhead, and we'll start just by drawing that right toe in line with your right hip and finding those toe taps down to the ground. Bit of a stretch here, and it's also the time for that left side to find that isometric hold. Now, in that first round, left leg was working, it was doing all the moving, and now we're asking it to stabilize. So you might be feeling that left side a little bit more fiercely than you did the right side. Likewise, that right side, this might feel a little bit easier because it's already been warmed up. It did all of that work stabilizing your body on the first side. Let's hold it up in 3, in 2, and 1, little pulses. You've got 5. You've got 4. For 3, 2, and 1. Flex your foot. We're drawing it forward. Point, come back. Flex, come forward, and point, come back. Stabilizing that pelvis. A nice way to do that is actually just to put your hand to remind it here. and then point, come back. That it is not to be moving. Kicking forward, point, and coming back. Kick forward, point, come back. Let's hold that kick forward in 3, in 2, and 1. Kick forward, little up an inch, little down, squeezing, making that length here from your mat all the way to your shoulder. You've got 2 and 1. Let's kick it in, press back, and point. Good. Draw forward, kick it in, kick back, point back. Woo, we've got that kick, point, kick, and back. All right, couple more just like this. I am feeling the burn here, my friends. We are going to hold it out in 3, in 2, and 1. Little up an inch, little down. You've got 5. You've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in and push it back. So good. Should be feeling those glutes by now. All right, my friends, we are going to find a couple of leg moves here and get the arms involved as well. So we've got that core. We've been working those stabilization muscles, especially those on the outside of our body. We've worked those inner thighs as well. We're going to get to those endurance muscles. So you can stand on your knees here, and then we'll bring that right foot forward without moving your pelvis very much. We're going to find those left feet coming forward. Then we're bringing it down on that right knee and left knee. So we're trying not to shift the hips too much, depending on your flexibility here. You might have a little bit of movement here in the hips, but try to keep them nice and steady. Rotating here. Which leg you're coming down and up on. So left, to left, and left, and left. And now I'm right, and left, and right, and left. So really working those quads. You can have those hands behind your head for a more balanced challenge if you would like. Really feeling those glutes fire up. And it's not a full stand. Just these commando squats are going knee to knee and then right back down. All right, let's hold in a squat position here in 3, in 2, and 1. We're holding in this squat position. I'll come and face you here. Let's bring those fingertips out. You're going to have one palm facing up. Opposite palm is going to face away from you. And then we're going to switch, okay? So up and away, up and away, up and away, and up and away. Starting to really work those shoulders here and holding that beautiful isometric hold here. That's it. So good. All right. See if we can sit a little bit lower in that squat. And then we're going to hold those fingertips out in 3, in 2, and 1. Let's hold those fingertips out and flip both palms down. Alternating those heel raises, staying nice and low and keeping those arms out. So good. All right. This time, as you bring that heel up, same arm comes down and then drops down. Good. Bring that palm up and drops down. Good. Palm is going to rotate so it's facing your ear and then it faces that ground. Again, that pelvis is staying nice and steady here the entire time and you're staying low in that squat. Woo, let's hold. That right heel up in 5. Right heel's up in 4. In 3. In 2. And 1. Let's hold that right heel up. Good. Woo. Make a fist with that right hand and find a little shoulder press down and up. Shoulder press down and up. Isometric hold here on the left. I've got nothing in that hand, but I'm really starting to feel that right side and finding that full extension here. Good. All right, let's hold that elbow out in 3, in 2, and 1. Elbow out, little up an inch, little down, little up an inch, little down. You've got 5. Switching arms in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Extend that palm. Right hand comes down, and we're going to draw the left fingertips up here, up and overhead. Woo, beautiful. And draw those fingertips down and right back up. Beautiful. Woo, and we're going to sit nice and low here. Elbow comes out. Find that punch and lift up, finding that shoulder press. Elbow out and then press it up. See if you can sit just a little bit lower and make sure that right arm is not falling down here. Elbow down and right back up. A little elbow down and right back up. We're holding low in 5. Elbow out to the side in 4. Finding that pulse in 3. In 2. And 1. It's a little up an inch. Little down. Good. A little up. Little down. You've got 5. You've got 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Drop that palm. Both come out here. So good. We're dropping down nice and low. And then just find those palm switches again. Out and up and out and up. You've got 5. You've got 4. Sit lower if you can. You've got 3. You've got 2. And 1. Whew. Find that nice, glorious big stretch. No weights, but you're still really feeling that body. We're going to face the front here. Left foot's going to come forward. Right toes are going to step a few inches back here. And they're going to find a nice hinge here. So shoulders are ahead of the hips and endeavoring to get about 90 degrees or so into that right thigh. You're going to extend those fingertips out. Good. Elbows lock into place. And then we're dropping it down an inch and lifting up an inch. Dropping it down and lifting it up. Beautiful. Finding just some little pulses here on the legs. Really working those quads. Press, squeeze your glute on the way up. And just finding that micro little pulse here. We're going to hold it low in 3. Shoulders are away from those ears. You've got 2. And 1. Hold it nice and low. Find some toe taps, just extending those toes out and drawing them in. Try to keep that pelvis nice and steady. Toes out and in, just challenging that balance. Arms stay nice and steady here. We're going to hold those toes in line with one another in 3. In 2. And 1. Toes in line with one another. Right heel still stays up. And find some little squeezes like you're squeezing a ball behind you. See if you can get just a little bit lower. You've got 5. Squeezing for 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Right heel comes down. That left heel is going to be up nice and high. And we're just going to find those pulses again. Little up and little down. Drop it low. Squeeze, come up. Shoulders away from ears, and you're squeezing still below that navel, allowing that core to support you. Dropping low and coming up. We're going to find those toe taps in 5, in 4, toe taps in 3, in 2, and 1. See if those fingertips can come up a little higher, little in, little out, keeping that pelvis nice and steady, little out, little in. See if you can get just a little bit lower now that you've got that balance. Toes are going to come in line here in 3, in 2, and 1. Bring those toes in. Little squeezes here. Woo! I'm really feeling all parts of my body right now. Little squeezes like you're trying to pop a ball behind you. You're here for 5, for 4. Can we get lower? Yes, we can. You got 3. You got 2. And 1. Fingertips up, heel comes down, and just find yourself in a nice little stretch here. Fingertips are going to rest onto the ground. We're going to walk ourselves out to a little plank position. Now, those toes can come out the width of your mat for more stability. And we're just going to find some alternating shoulder taps here. Trying really hard to keep those hips nice and steady and really squeezing, scooping up the core. And thinking about zipping up those inner thighs. Alternating shoulder taps here. You don't have to go very fast. We're working on stability here in those hips, as if you've got a tray of something just fantastic that you don't want to spill on your back. So we're not allowing those hips to shift from side to side, staying as still as we can. Whew. Let's hold in that plank position. Both hands down in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Left forearm comes down, right forearm comes down, and those toes can zip together. Friends, we've got a 30-second plank hold here to end our day. Sometimes that stillness can be the hardest part. We want to think about those elbows underneath your shoulders, slight tuck of the pelvis. You're squeezing glutes, squeezing hamstrings, and making sure you're not rocking forward here. We really want those shoulders directly over your elbows, squeezing that core. Again, squeeze glutes, zip up those inner thighs. Friends, you got 3, 2, and 1. Knees come down. Oh, we did it. We've earned our little stretch here. So knees come out to the side, and we'll find those fingertips forward. Focus on your breath here. Big inhales. And nice big exhales. You can walk yourself up. We're going to find a little stretch of those legs. Right leg can extend, and then that left foot, you can just draw that foot to your inner thigh. Find an inhale, nice big reach up and overhead. Right hand can rest on the mat, or if you want a little extra stretch, you can grab onto your foot or wherever it happens to land on your body. Find an inhale. Whew, and then let's see if we can get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Inhale up, and let's switch sides here. No equipment. These are great workouts that you can do if you're traveling or if you don't have any equipment, or one of those workouts where you feel, I'll just try something. And you know what? You really tend to surprise yourself when you just start, right? So I hope you had a great time, my friends. I've got all sorts of workouts on my YouTube channel. Let me know what you thought. Thank you so much for working out with me, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye, friends.